So in the previous video, I was talking about the root chakra and which Hindu deity presides over the root chakra, and no guess that it would be obviously Lakshmi Narayan who would preside over the root chakra, because Lakshmi Narayan are all about sustaining our physical well-being and experience, but they're also about generational, ancestral. If you think about, when someone passes away, or when we're doing Pitar Paksh, then we pray to Narayan, right? We offer to Narayan, and then when we now when I say Lakshmi Narayan, can be Lakshmi Narayan, in that form, but it can also be any one of the avatars, like Shri Radha Krishna, or it can be Ram and Sita. It depends which one you feel most connected to, right? But Lakshmi Narayan is the main sort of presiding energy for the root chakra, because if you think about Lakshmi and the Lakshmi Vrat and the Ashtalakshmi, which is all the 8 forms of Lakshmi. If you think about Narayan, right, and that of all of the gods, Narayan is the one that will always come and take an avatar on earth every single yug, right? Because he presides over the physical earth. He presides over the physical reality. He's the one that creates, all of the systems and the order in the universe and the timing. He's in charge of all of that stuff, the construct of the universe. He's by design. He's the architect of it all. And he is also presides over all the laws and the justice and the balance of karma and all of that. So that's his domain, right? So and also ancestral stuff as well. If you notice that even with whenever we're doing ancestral stuff, whenever you buy a home, it's Lakshmi, you do Lakshmi prayers, or you do Lakshmi Narayan prayers. So Lakshmi is always like the center of the home, and that's because it's got to do a lot with our physical experience of life. And the root chakra is the work with the root chakra is all about shifting our attachment to the physical reality in a conditional way. It's not about giving it up. Lots of people think it's about giving up material life, but it's actually really not about giving up material life. It is more about shifting your relationship with all of these different subjects that I've mentioned, and rooting it into a spiritual relationship. So that the way you relate with money or food or your parents, you shift that out of your conditional way into spiritual wisdom and consciousness. So when you operate from that place and you then live in this world, then it is not karmic, it's akarmic, right? Obviously this is a very big subject, so I will spend time in some point unpacking this a lot more deeper in relation to how that process works, from shifting from the conditional to the spiritual. But basically that's what Lakshmi Narayan is all about. They're about systems that we have. Even your physical body, the system in your physical body, right? Your nervous system, your entire system is all designed by Narayan. If you think about the Ayurvedic, God is an avatar of Narayan. So he is in charge and presiding over all aspects of physical expression. And Lakshmi presides over all aspects of the energy behind the physical. So she is energy that allows the flow of the physical, and Narayan is the one that will create all of the systems from her energy, right? From her expression and her divine creative energy. So he will come in and he will organize it, and he will, create systems, and even whether it's in your individual life or whether it is in an entire cosmos itself, he does all of it. Okay. So Lakshmi Narayan is best. Now, if you want to clear, specifically if you're working through generational karma clearing for the feminine and masculine, it's different. What I found that during my generational clearing, when I was working with clearing the mother stuff, like any karmas that come from my mother, it was Kalima that came through very strongly, and I did a lot of work with her for clearing mother karma, right? I remember I did, during that time, I did a big Hawan. I think it was on her appearance day, and I did a very big Hawan for clearing ancestral mother karma. And then she's very good for that. If you're working with clearing ancestral or father karma, then Narasimha is very good for that. Okay, because if you think about the story of Narasimha, he Prahlad Maharaj, right, was a very pure devotee of Narasimha. Narasimha is Lord Narayan or Lord Vishnu, and he was the son of the demon Hiranyakashipu, and I'm not going to relate the whole story. I'm pretty sure most of you know what the story is, but the symbolic meaning of that story is not just about him being a devotee and everything that happened. It's a representation of father and son relationship, and the one father was extremely, shadowed, demonic, and the father, who's Narayan to him, was his cosmic father or his divine father. So that whole story is all about the clearing of the karmas, of the demonic father for Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, so let's put this in perspective. Let me say this properly in context. So the whole story, which is the relationship between the son and the father, his own father, who was the demon, and Narayan, who was the cosmic father, his devotion to Narayan led for the karmic stuff to be cleared, or his karmic father to be cleared. That's what it meant, basically, that story. So for us, what it means is that it doesn't mean that our father is demonic. What it means, the demon that's represented in the story represents all of the demonic habits that exist within us. Also represents the demonic habits or karmas that's handed down to us by our father. Right, things that habits or karmas or behaviors that we've inherited or handed down, we've taken from him, that causes suffering in our lives. It is Narayan that comes as the cosmic father or divine father who comes to clear all of that, because Narayan is all about clearing karmas and justice and balance and judgment, right? So he comes for that, not only for Prahlad Maharaj, but within our own journey, when we are clearing our generational stuff and working with father energy, then Narasimha is extremely important. Okay, you can connect to Narasimha. It's really, really good. Or if it's the appearance day, then I remember I did a fire Hawan for Narasimha on his appearance day. I usually like to do one every year. Okay, good. So I'm just going to stop here, and yep. Okay.